My name is Rebecca Catching. I was fortunate enough to grow up in an amazing forested area. It was like this kind of Canadian postcard where we had deer and bears and skating ponds behind the house. One of the really striking things was actually the stars, and I never realized it until I started living in bigger cities, and I would come back and visit my parents. Wow, like what a show. One of the reasons that I was drawn to McGill was actually Montreal as a city. I had visited as a high school student and I was just so taken with the city. It's just so charming, right? I mean, who isn't, right? Finished off my university career with a very strong interest in East Asian studies and art. I was able to study at Fudan University in Shanghai. I sort of told myself, I'm going to live here. This is a common theme in my life of visiting a place and then deciding I'm going to live here. By the time I'd been there for maybe 3 years or so, I was pretty fluent. I got a job working at a magazine kind of like Time Out. It's about city life, where the new restaurants are, arts and culture. And it was sort of like a dream job. I was introduced to the owner of a gallery who was looking for a new gallery director. And I was sort of feeling like, well, I've done this media thing for a while. It's really great, but I feel like I want to do something new. He had a few artists that he really liked and that he wanted to work with. And then for the rest of the program, it was up to me what we did. So I did a lot of thematic shows. I sort of ran the gallery more like a nonprofit art space. After that, I was able to find a job working at this museum. And I thought, wow, it's my big shot. I get to work at a museum. It was hard working there. After that, I decided to go on my own again and be an independent curator. And I did a series of projects at the Goethe Institute. When I was thinking about coming back to Canada, I knew it was going to be very hard to establish myself in the contemporary art world. I did apply for positions, usually did not get a call back. I interviewed for one photography center, but I think I really wasn't like a great fit. I'd been waiting for the universe to kind of tell me what direction I should take, and then this just happened. Like, it was very fateful. I decided to get involved in the community garden, and I just found myself there every day. This was at Dufferin Grove Park in Toronto. The woman who's in charge of the garden taught me so much, and she's very welcoming. And all the volunteers were just really, really great people. And then it sort of dawned on me that, people get paid for doing this kind of work. I need money, so why don't I try and find a job? It was really weird to be back in school again, 20 years after I'd first graduated. So a horticultural technician is someone who is basically trained in terms of doing the work that is required to take care of plants. The program that I took is very wide, it includes everything from construction to nursery growing, to lawn and garden maintenance. The Humber greenhouse is incredible because it was winter time, so we spent a lot of time in the greenhouse. We learned all of the business side, how to price, what kind of a markup should you have on materials. They actually introduced you to a whole bunch of employers, and you interviewed these people and they would sponsor you. There are certain companies who are very devoted to the apprenticeship program, and they realize that it's important. It's something they can give back to their employees. The company that I worked for have been quite serious about pushing me in my training and giving me new learning opportunities. I learned a lot of construction stuff this year. Landscaping as a profession, I think a lot of people think of it as this thing that college students do as a summer job. If you're young and fit, if you can mow lawns and use a leaf blower, then you can be a landscaper. That's how a lot of people get in. I mean, that's what I was doing in my first job, very basic sort of things. But as you move up in the field, you start to realize how complex it is. In terms of what I'm doing right now, the name of my company is called Tranquility Garden Design. We're a small design and maintenance company. We service clients in Forest Hill, the Annex, and some in Etobicoke. We take care of their gardens. We prune their shrubs. We deadhead their flowers. We do seasonal urns. It's a field that is really growing. There's a huge demand for labor. In terms of your identity and how you see yourself, it definitely was a bit of an adjustment to move into landscaping. Before, when I had been a curator in China, I would always wear these fashion-forward outfits, and I was flying around Asia and going to glamorous parties, and could even have my nails done. A human spirit has just this like infinite capacity for adaptation and learning and creativity. And as long as you're curious and if you work hard and you show up and you have the right attitude, I think making career pivot can be fairly easy. So you'd be surprised changing jobs. Sometimes you think, oh, I could never do that, but then all of a sudden you're into it. You're like, oh, this is, I guess, what I was meant to do, at least for now.